Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 in Parkitect. In the last episode we took a look at Adventure Island, which is this tropical island with the observation tower on it as a feature, and we now have the option of either going to Batavia Cay, which is another beautiful tropical island, or we can go to Ice Shelf Islands. Well, since we've just done two tropical ones, let's go to the snowy north instead. Ice Shelf Islands. A small amount of land has become available in the frigid north and presents an opportunity for an amusement park. Brave the challenging weather and help your guests forget the cold. Have at least 550 guests in your park. Have a happiness rating of at least 75%. Optional. Have an experiences rating of at least 70%. Please note that says experiences and this one says happiness. So that's different metrics. Experiences is the overall one. Happiness is only one of the options available. Optional, complete all non-optional goals by the end of June Year 3. Now this one I wasn't expecting to get a gold medal in, so I was pleasantly surprised and really happy to get the gold medal, because I thought with it being so cold that this was going to be a potential problem, because you think of fun fairs and amusement parks as a warm weather, sunny, great outdoors, nice weather kind of experience. So I was thinking the cold could potentially be a big problem for us. So let's zoom out, and it is really snowy and cold. Look at this all frozen. Look, looks like ice, doesn't it? It is actually the snow underneath that makes it look all icy. So your guests come in here through the snow and the cold, and you can see it's lots of fir trees. So keep that in mind when you're building your park. I was tempted to only use fir trees, but I've ended up using this big blobby tree because the fir trees just don't give you the height for the foliage cover that I really wanted. So I used the blobby tree as well as the fir tree. So I tried to stick to mostly the sort of alpine fir trees, and then just used a few blobby trees to give me that height for the height difference. So your guests come in here, and your goods depot is all the way over here at the side of the park, so keep that in mind. I've put in my staff training and my staff restroom over here, and built a food court right in front of the depot, but it's quite a long distance from the entrance here, so I've also added a food court right down here, and of course a depot so that the staff don't have to walk so far to get the food in. And let's have a quick overview of the park. My big signature ride, I decided because we're in the snow, what could we do? It has to be a bobsled, doesn't it? Absolutely has to be a bobsled. So let's zoom in and follow the bobsled. Let's follow the one that's going up there. So they're just coming to the top of the lift hill. This bobsled layout is one of the ones that you will find in the included blueprints in the build section. I did try to build my own, and I'll be honest with you, as I tried to build my own bobsled, I ended up with the cars flying off the side of the bobsled and my potential crash test dummies dying a horrible death. So I had a couple of goes and thought, I'm going to need a lot more practice on this, because I've never really built coasters and bobsleds and things before, so this is a completely new experience for me. Parkitect's my first building a park game, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to need a lot more practice on the building bobsleds, building coasters and things. So in the end I just used the set piece, which actually works really well in this park, because this particular layout fits beautifully on this big island at the back of the park, and then it's got a long run-in for the start of the ride and the close of the ride here. So let's see, can I get the... So it's called Wintergreen Rush. So if you come into the section here and take a look at the bobsled blueprints, so you can see they've got some pre-builts here, and this is the one that I've built, the Wintergreen Rush. See, this section here fits beautifully on the island, and this big open section fits out across the water here, look. So you've got this beautiful island here, so this section actually fits lovely on here, and it's got this beautiful snaking design, so it's a feature skyline for my park, and it fits lovely on this big island at the back here. And then the run-in and exit here, running up to the lift hill and the exit for the brake run, form this big loop that goes right across the water, letting me just build the station on the edge of the water, and then just a path in and out here, leading into this little island right here where I've popped my pirate ship right next to it, so the queue can see the pirate ship. The pirate ship's right next to the water, and then right next to this also we've got our orbiter built on a platform in the middle of the ocean, right in the middle of the entrance and exit from the bobsled. So you've got the interaction between the 3 rides here, all in this little section. And also on the brake run, you're right next to the tourbillon up here as well. And as you're coming into and out of the tourbillon, this is the only ride up on this section. We could have extended further, and the path here was going to extend further, but I didn't need to because the scenario finished. But this path goes underneath the coaster here and connects with this one up to the orbiter here, and then connects back right next to the pirate ship here. So you've got this big interaction between all of these rides, which I'm really pleased with. I think that worked really well. Right next here we've got the ride here. This is actually meant to be a dark ride, this one, the Explorer. It's actually a dark ride design, so if you watch it spinning, you've got this coaster feature, but then you've got the spinning cars which are designed to turn and twist so that you can see the scenery around it. So I built it without the scenery and just used it as a tool around the snow and ice here, but I thought it worked quite well as a coaster, and because the ones that you come up with, the coasters that you come up with here, even by the end of the scenario I've only got 4, and I wanted something a little bit different, so we actually used, where is it, the inverted dark ride here, and I used the Explorer layout, which is this one here, without the scenery. So if you do build without scenery, and that's what I did here, and I used this one, and that is what we've got right here, you see. So you can see the little cars, look, with the people on them, and as it goes around the track you can see it turns around as they go, so they would see here, you can see this one turning, look, so they would turn to face whatever scenery you've got on the ride. So you can use the inverted dark rides without them actually being completely dark rides. You can use them as sort of flawless coasters as a tour around your scenery. So that's how I've used this one. Maybe not something that you would initially think to do. So right next to this inverted dark ride, which I've used as a coaster, we've got a little set of toilets masked by the trees, and we've used blue colouring in keeping with the snow and ice theme. Maybe that wouldn't be a good choice of colouring, but I thought that would be great for the toilets, just to blend in with the actual scenery of the area we've got. Right next to that we've got the wipeout opposite the pirate ship here. As you can see, I've used different colours for the rides and the queue lines. I've kept the queue lines and the colours of the pavilions over the ride lines in keeping with each of the rides. So if you look at the ride colours, look, here this is sort of a burgundy colour on the edge of the boat, so we've got a burgundy pavilions, and the queue line is the sort of mustard yellow and burgundy, and then the wipeout is a sort of orangey, goldy orangey bronzy colour, and yellow and red, so we've used those colours for the lines. The launched drop tower has got a big red surface on the tower itself, so we've got red roofs and we've got a red and white queue here. We've got a 4D cinema, that's all dark colours, so the queue follows that colours. Over here we've got the twister. Out at the edge of the park we've got a G-lock, all in green, so all the queue lines are green. And we've got a wild mouse in bumblebee colours, so yellow and black, so we've got a yellow and black queue line, and we've got black on the top there. Let's follow the wild mouse. Oh, I'm not actually following him, so we can just watch him. So we've got that classic wild mouse layout. I think this is the same layout that we used in the last build. Again, it's one of the blueprints from the build scenery. We've just changed the colours on it this time, so it's the same one that we saw last time, so it's exactly the same layout. And then we've got the entrance and exits to the queues right next to each other here with the G-lock. And then over here behind the twister we've got a little food court. So we've got soft drinks, hot drinks, cotton candy, mini donuts, hot dogs and Chinese food in this one. And we've got the depot right on the edge of the park here, and we've used the medieval brick walls here and we've changed them into cream walls with little green highlights on the brickwork, and we've just kept it very, very simple design here. Just the little slightly sloped roof here, and at the side with the staff path going down and behind. There's your entryway right here. We've got an info booth in it here. Right next to the entrance we've got the Ferris wheel and a jumper. And if you come up this road here you look straight at the drop tower, and just off to the side of that you've got the 4D cinema, the carousel, which is no longer jumping around. This one's not broken, this one's working properly. Hello little beautiful horses. And we've got cash machine and another information booth here with another food court, and down the side and the back of the food court we've got some toilets, again in the blue colours here. If I drop the scenery down here you can see that we've got this little sort of bridge out over the water which leads you to the toilets, and we've got lots of seating. We've got our info, cash booth, vending machine, access to our staff facilities, trash chute, goods in department. Probably didn't need a trash chute there, but it just fitting beautifully in the corner here where you can't actually fit a shop, so I just thought I'd fit it in. And we've got soft drinks, hot dogs, hot drinks, cotton candy and Chinese food again. So it's the same shops that we've got in the other street down the front. And then we've got our seating area here, and so we've kept a lot of things covered in with pavilions and things just to make it easier for people. Again we've used the medieval brickwork in cream and green and the just slightly sloped roof, and again we've used the two colours of blue for our toilet buildings down the back here. And you can see out over the water and over to the bobsled off our seating under the pavilion walkway around here. And that I think is everything that we have in our park. So if I zoom back out for you to see better, I can show you there. So you come in here, so you've got a shopping street straight off to the right which leads to the G-Lock and the Wild Mouse. And then if you come back you can cut down this path here which leads you to your twister and down to the section here, or if you keep going down the main road here you come to the Ferris wheel and the jumper, and then you can turn down here and go to this section again. You've also at the end of here got access to the drop tower, the 4D cinema, the carousel and the food court. And if we come down here where both of our sections have led round this square here, you now have the wipeout and the pirate ship, and you have toilets, and you have access to the dark ride which we're using as a coaster, and also access to the bobsled. Now if you come back to this side of the pirate ship by the queue to the drop tower, you've got this pathway out over the water which leads you to the orbiter, interacts beautifully with the bobsled, and then the path goes underneath the side of the station for the bobsled out across to the tourbillon, and also gives you beautiful views up over to the bobsled as you're walking along here, and there's lots of seating around as you go. So that is my park for the ice shelf. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From Soft Kitty 99, goodbye and happy gaming!